because I was interested in interested in put something in for you. Well, I titled this 2:30 a.m. and just the time where I hopped in the car. I'm go to the station or something, get something to munch on. Yeah, it's been one of those nights. I haven't did a video in time, and I've been wanting to, you know, not that I just been wanting to do a video, but it's just been, well, the last time I did a video was probably like 2 months ago, when everything like popped off, with this whole shutdown and everything. And I'm in Cali, so I, so it's been, pretty interesting over here, especially in LA. And, with the whole George Floyd and the whole Corona and this whole, and what ended up happening, I'll be completely honest with you guys, like, during when the whole George Floyd thing, incident happened, from, I believe the very same, I think it was the day before, or the day, yeah, it was the day after, George Floyd was murdered. I was going through just the news. I guess it was like Care 11 or something of Minnesota, and they were showing like the reporter was on the streets, and they were talking about, I guess that was the beginning of the protests, and how against and the police, and how they began to riot, and things like that. And well, from that thing on, what I ended up seeing ended up being really uh, revealing. And at that very moment, I was wanting to. I knew I had to speak up about it. I had to like, tell everybody, like, before anything happened, because I didn't want people to put themselves in danger, or get themselves involved in protests or riots, or anything like that that's going to harm them, when me knowing that it was um, sinister in nature, that it was all deliberate, like it was, uh, um, but I think that day when, or the night before, when um, I saw what I saw, and the next day was my birthday, and I was with a friend and a couple people at their spot, and I just, since then until now, I've been like wanting to do share it, but you know the world kept going, and it was, and then I started feeling guilty, like, damn, man, like, I was too late. And then I started feeling guilty, and then I started feeling like disappointed in myself, that, like, I always want God to use me, and I want, you know and I'm always, you know urging God to reveal things to me, so that way I can be used and spread, like, the message, and spread everything. And it's just like, it ended up happening that He gave me what he he gave me something, but I didn't say anything, and I just felt like just totally um, just guilty, and I just felt like I didn't know how to, like, I didn't want to say anything, like, I didn't, because I thought it was already too late, that what's the whole point of, because George, the riots already happening. Okay, so basically this is what happened. So it was only a split second, like it was like a split second where there was a protest and the protesters were out in the streets, and he held up, there was it was like after the first night, and then there was a gentleman where he held up a sign, and the sign said, we all believe, we all bleed red, we all bleed red. And it was just like it just like a split second. And but something told me to like go back and look. I guess the video was like 3 minutes or something. And but some well, what I know now is the Holy Spirit told me to take a look at the video, and just you know it's- I just it was weird. Like, for some reason I had the image of this person that held the sign, of a ring, that this person had a ring on, and I didn't really understand at that exact moment. But what ended, and I'm gonna show you. Well, damn, I don't know if I can do it right here on the screen share, but I'm gonna do it like right after. I pressed pause, and the ring that the guy was holding, it was the skull and bones. It was the skull and bones ring. The one with the the to the secret society for George Bush, and I believe the number is 322. And it was that skull, and it was a gold ring, and I was just like, wow, like, out of everything, like, that's not like, it's, come on, like, how can you say that's a coincidence? Like, that person at that very moment. Because if you're not aware, that when it comes to situations like this, and especially when it's very dark and sinister, like, Satan always likes to put his you know as you can say, trademark, or just a sign that it's him, that he's there, and it's there. Like, they communicate in through subliminals and things like that. Like, like, ultimately, a person is not supposed to see that. A regular person is not supposed to see that, but just people that are trained to, or I guess to, are told to see that. They look for it. So that told me, because I'm just gonna say this clear, that that whole George Floyd thing that happened, that wasn't no race. That had nothing to do with race. That had nothing to do with police brutality. That had nothing to do with systematic racism. It had nothing to do with that. Like, that, like, was like pure murder. Like, what you saw, that individual, what he did to George Floyd, he that was just murder. That was deliberate. That was satanic. That was evil. What that person did, those, I don't even know if they were cops, to be honest. But when I saw that, I'll never forget it, because the same feeling that I got inside when every time I would, in my life, a situation that will happen where a friend of mine or somebody that I know will pass away, or got killed, or died, or something like that. I felt like a type of, it was a mixture of, like, being nauseous, and just, it just felt uncomfortable. I felt that, and when I felt that, I just knew that this wasn't something that was just like killing, because there's killings, like, people seeing things like that are very evil, a lot. But when I saw that, I just knew that it was the beginning to something very evil. And those men in those uniform, they were ordered to murder George to carry out that, whether it was part of a sacrifice, whether it was part of a ritual. I know definitely that it was that was, you could put that under like a ritual, a murder. And so I knew that the race war, or to cause division and the race wars, was about to begin. And so then a couple days after that is when you started seeing this situation unfold, when the cops were kneeling. They'll go, I guess they'll be like the riots, like all lined up, and they'll be telling the cops to, like, take a knee, take a knee. And then there was one incident that, and I actually think I recorded this. I actually have it on the screen share, so I'm gonna like share it with you after. I so, so there was this cop, um and the cop just like passed by me too. But anyways, there was the cop, right? He goes in front of the crowd, and he starts to talk to the people, are talking about how he loves, his police department love kids. He's not, the racist, like what they saw was, wicked, but we're grieving with you. And there was a couple black kids in, I guess, part of the protest, and they were like pretty big. And there was a time, and there was a moment where the cop started walking towards the kids to like hug them, and they all hugged them in a circle. And the camera spanned exactly at that moment, and he was wearing a jersey. The kid's jersey on the back said 32, and it said pyramid. When usually, like, if they have like a jersey or something and it says like like the person's sports thingy. So this kid's jersey said pyramid 32. Now, if you go back to the incident when George Floyd was murdered, the police car said 32. And it's just like, I don't want to get into like the specifics of like that and all that stuff, but yeah, it's just 1 second. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I think I have charge. Oh, I gotta wear my mask, man. I'm not used to this. Always have to wear a mask. Well, actually, I don't think they're really tripping on me over here about the mask. Forget it. So, yeah. What's up, G? So, yeah. Hold on. I'm just gonna grab something. I don't know what yet. Double shot. I don't know why I want a double shot right now, like 2:30, but I'm gonna get a double shot for some reason, because I just want one. Oh, I forgot. What else I can get? I need sugar. Sugar. Damn, it's pretty expensive over here. Let's see. Velvet Craft? Mm, yeah. Can I get those the bottom lighter?
Which one?
The bottom one?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Any color or?
Yeah, blue's cool.
I'm 44.
Alright, thank you. This this I keep forgetting. Sometimes I don't, well, it depends where I go, but I don't want to like wear a mask if I don't have to. Because usually like the 7-Eleven and the people that like the 7-Elevens around where I'm at, they don't really like be wearing masks anyways. Because like the Indians, they don't believe it. A lot of the Indians or the, I guess the minorities, they don't believe it. But anyways, so yeah, that's basically me just opening up because I kind of realized something when um about myself. When I have a confession to make, not necessarily a confession, right? But when I have something that's bothering me that I need to vent or open up to some, or just to see, okay, what did I just do? I gave an explanation of why I been procrastinating and why I haven't been, because I failed, right? So that was me, basically saying like, telling you guys what necessarily happened. But it's like situations like that. Many times I I tell myself like, man, like what if you're just okay? Even my friends would tell me like, Danny, like you're beating yourself up too much. Like, you're doing your best and everything, and but I always would just feel just bad, and unless I confess, or unless I talk about it and speak up about it, um, I'm always gonna have that weight on my chest, and I'm not gonna feel at ease until I speak up, and and it's I cannot do B or C unless I get through with A. And yeah, I could go and do B and C, but on the back of my mind I knew that I didn't do A, so I'm gonna think B and C isn't, you know, it's best. You know what I mean? Uh, and then covers like at 7-Eleven, um, like checking me out, and this has to do with just the situation in my neighborhood, um, and I really have to be careful of who I decide to mingle with or have a conversation with, because whether people know my intentions or not, sometimes what can really hurt you in this life is it's not what people know, it's what they think they know. So people can you know, they think that people don't necessarily know that you're doing, but if they think you're doing something, you know what uh, and plus, that one saying that Jesus said, I'm starting to really see that um, a prophet receives no honor in his own town, I believe. Ain't that the truth?